Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a great day so far. Don't go to a reading yet because I am going to be pulling charms in a little bit, so stay tuned for that. I'm pulling charms today because the energy in some of the cards here is very similar. For example, the one that you've probably noticed is these two here. These are very similar to each other. I don't hand select the oracle cards for each reading. I let the universe decide, I let synchronicity decide, and these two are the ones that came out today. So I feel like I have to include a charm with each of these just so you guys can differentiate the energy a little bit more. So stay tuned for that. Today we're looking at relationship compatibility. Have a person in mind before you select your reading and have it be a romantic relationship. Just because that's how I'm going to be interpreting the cards with that romantic context, a romantic lens. So have that romantic person in mind. And if you have multiple people that you would like to do this reading for, by all means, pick multiple readings. If you'd like me to do the same spread, but for a friendship, like friendship compatibility, let me know in the comments. I can definitely do that. We have 7 cards as a part of our spread today, and we'll be using the Shimmering Veil Tarot. I have a couple other videos where I use this deck. I love this deck. So if you want to see more of this, I will link those videos for you. Our first card is your desires in the relationship. The second card is their desires in the relationship. Third is similarities. Fourth is differences. And then the next 3 cards are compatibility cards. So emotional compatibility, so that card will just characterize your overall, the emotional parts of your relationship. Physical compatibility, that card will characterize the physical aspects of your relationship. And the last card is overall compatibility. So this card will characterize the overall relationship between the two of you. Okay, let me pull the charms so you can have as much information as possible to select your reading, and hopefully one will resonate. Again, you don't need to use everything that's a part of the pile to select your reading. If the crystal really speaks to you, fantastic. If the card is really speaking to you, fantastic. Or if the charm is speaking to you, that's great too. You can pick whatever works for you. Okay, so the charms I have in here, just a bag. I'm going to be pulling charms randomly. Same thing as how I pick the cards. We're going to let the universe decide. So let me pick our first charm. A shark. Okay. So that'll go with our first reading. Second charm for 555 and change. A locket. Oh, let me show you these cards a little bit closer as well. So the first reading is going to be 1031 Passion, a flower in the middle. The second reading, and for the first one, sorry, we have Moon Crystal. Here's the crystal for the second reading. 555 and change. I have been seeing this number a lot recently. I don't know if you guys have, but this has been haunting me. Maybe this is my reading. Okay, our next crystal here, kind of purpley. And we have 888, abundance. I love this number. Okay, let me pull a charm. Okay, it looks like bunny rabbits in the moon. 2 rabbits, which I think is interesting. Okay. Our fourth reading. And we have 616, sanctuary. Beautiful message for a relationship. Okay, let me pull a charm. Ooh, interesting. Can you see what that says there? That says secret love. There we go. You can see that. Cute. Okay. Next crystal for our 5th reading. I don't know if you can see, there's some sparkles in there. And we have 222 alignment. Lovely message for a relationship as well. All of these cards are pretty good messages for a relationship. I'm excited about this because in the last video that I did, the friendship one, I went into that video just thinking that it was just going to be about friendship in general, and then all of the readings ended up being about conflict. So the whole video turned into a conflict reading, and it ended up being very interesting. So if you have a friendship, if you're fighting with a friend or things aren't going well with a friend, check that out. Okay, our fifth charm, friend. Lovely. Perhaps this person started off as a friend, or your relationship started off as friends, or you guys maybe just still see yourself as friends. Our last but not least, we have a star crystal. And this, similar energy to this again. So if these two are calling to you, make sure you figure out which one it's supposed to be. 2222, twin flame. Let me pull a charm. Oh, interesting. Pac-Man. And the ghost. Okay. There we go. We've got our crystal, our charms, and our oracle cards. The oracle cards are from the Angel Number Oracle by the Pulp Girls. I also use this in a few different videos. I'll link one of these if you want to see more of the cards, get more of a vibe. Maybe you're interested in getting it for yourself. Otherwise, hopefully one of these readings is calling out to you. Remember to have a person in mind before you select. And if it's not calling out to you, pause the video, take a second, 3 deep breaths, clear your mind, leave the image on the screen so you can look at it, and hopefully one of them will call out to you. Otherwise, feel free to go to your reading now. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you gain some insight. Hello, and welcome to the first reading. Let me know in the comments what brought you here, the green moon crystal, the shark charm, or the oracle card 1031 passion. People have been leaving comments on the other videos telling me what resonated, and I'm super appreciative. I love hearing about it, so let me know in the comments. Before we get into the reading, take what resonates, leave the rest behind. If you feel like this is not the right reading for you, that's totally fine. The energy here is pretty nuanced, which is what I said in the introduction as well. So if this isn't sounding right at all, just go back to the beginning and try selecting a new one. Hopefully there is one here for you that will resonate. Let's get into it. So the first card is kind of like your desires in the relationship, your energy, things like that. We'll see. Let's see what it is. 7 of water. Okay, so this could mean a whole bunch of different things. I think this could mean that you're in a dating mindset. You have a few options. You have a few possibilities for who you could move forward with, and maybe this person is just one of those possibilities. Or it could be that you are really unsure about this specific relationship and you see a few different outcomes, a few different possibilities. Maybe that's why you're here, because maybe you do like this person, but you're not exactly certain as to how this relationship would go. So hopefully you get some more information here. Let's take a look at their desires or their energy right now. 3 of air, interesting. So there's a conflict going on between the head and the heart. I do feel like they want to follow their heart, but their head might be stopping them here. I think that they do like you, but there's something that's holding them back. Let's see if we can let me pull another card to try to get some more information about this conflict. Okay. We've got the Page of Fire. So they might be a young person, not necessarily younger than you, but definitely a more youthful, young energy. If they're not like chronologically like age number young, they might just have like a youthful spirit. And I think they're used to being single. So perhaps that's where the conflict is coming in. They like you, but they're kind of used to being single and searching. They're always searching for something. Let's see if we can get some information through the other cards here and get a better idea as to what's going on. The next card is similarities. 10 of water reversed. Okay, so you both, commitment might be foreign to you both. So if you're dating, looking for something right now, that would explain the commitment on your end. You're not committed to anything right now. The theme of this card is definitely options. And if they're having this conflict between their head and their heart, they're used to being single, they have a more youthful energy, that would explain why their commitment is foreign for them. Sorry. Okay, let's take a look at your differences. Ten of Fire, interesting. So this card is about burden, and I think that this might mean that one person could see relationships in general as a burden while the other person doesn't. One person might feel more that being in a partnership, having a relationship is hard and it's a struggle and you have to persevere and you have to fight for the relationship, and the other person just doesn't have that attitude. Let me know in the comments if that resonated for you. Let's take a look at your emotional compatibility. So again, this card is just kind of going to characterize the emotional aspects of your relationship with this person. The Sun, that's such a lovely card to see in a compatibility. So you're very emotionally compatible. You get along really well. You make each other happy. There's like good vibes, positivity to the emotional part of the relationship in general. Perhaps why this has been so difficult is because you guys do get along really well and you do clearly like each other, and the issues around commitment and things like that is what is kind of holding you guys back. Let's take a look at physical compatibility. 8 of Air. So this card is about restraint and holding back. So there might not be, interesting that the Oracle card here is passion as well. You guys might be holding yourselves back when it comes to the physical aspect. There might not be a lot of physical compatibility, but it's because you guys are holding yourself back. I think in order to increase the physical compatibility, you'll have to open up more, try to be more open-minded, and try not to be so reserved, and that might increase the physical compatibility between the two of you. Super interesting when compared with this passion card, because passion can sometimes be interpreted in the physical sense, right? All right, let's take a look at the overall compatibility. 6 of Water. Okay, so the 6 of Water is accepting that a certain part of your life is over and moving forward. Like, it's okay to hold on to the memories and like have positive memories about something that you like to reflect on, but you can't let it hold you back. And it's interesting that these memories in this card is like that youthful, childish energy. So it's time, in order for this relationship to work and move forward, you both will have to accept that that time of your life of being single or youthful, exploring the world, dating and things like that might be over, and you guys will have to move forward together from that. It can work as long as these memories and that like attachment to the younger part of your life is gone. Okay. All right, that's all I have. I hope that this reading resonated and gave you some insight. Let me know in the comments if it did. I'm super curious, as I've said a million times in this reading. Thank you for spending some time with me today, and I hope you will join me again in a future video. Welcome to the second reading. I hope you're as excited as I am. We have the gray crystal, the locket charm, and the angel number oracle card is 555. Change. I'm super excited. Let's get into the reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If this is sounding way off, like not even any similar to your situation, go back to the beginning and select a new reading. Like I said in the introduction, the energy is kind of nuanced for this today. So just go back to the reading and try again. Go back to the intro, and try again. Our first card is your desires for the relationship. This could also kind of be your energy for the relationship in general right now. Golden Fool, you are ready to move forward, take the relationship to the next step, level up. You've learned a lot of things. You've been through a huge journey and you're ready to take those lessons and take the relationship to the next step. The Golden Fool card is special to this deck, and it falls at the end of the major arcana if you're familiar with the structure of the tarot. So the whole journey of the major arcana culminates in this card, and it's about taking all of those lessons and using them and applying them. So anyways, that is what you desire from the relationship. Let's see what they desire. Their energy. Death. Okay. Very similar. Don't be freaked out by this if you're not super familiar with tarot or anything like that. Death card just means change. They are ready for the relationship to change. They are also ready to take the relationship to the next step. Makes sense that both of the energy here is related to change, because that is the overall message of this reading, I guess. All right, your similarities. 2 of fire. So you both share the same dream for the relationship, which I think is amazing. It seems like you're on the same page. You're both ready to embark on this new journey. Perhaps also you both are kind of high achievers. You've achieved a lot. And you also see the possibilities for the relationship. That's a great card to see, especially considering that you're both ready for some kind of a change to happen. Let's take a look at your differences. 8 of fire. Okay, so you have different levels of confidence about how things might go if the relationship does change. One person is more optimistic than the other one. It might be like the other person might be pessimistic or a realist, and the other one might be optimistic. There's just like differing levels between you two. And then the 8 of fire is also about speed. So one person might be ready for the change to come very quickly, and the other person might be a little more hesitant and more comfortable with change coming slowly. Let's take a look at your emotional compatibility. 9 of water. That's a beautiful card to have in this position. So you both make each other very happy. The relationship is very fulfilling. You're very emotionally compatible, long story short. Let's take a look at your physical compatibility. 8 of earth reversed. So there is a little bit of frustration in the physical realm, and I think that can be fixed. Okay. The 8 of earth reversed does talk about frustration in that realm, but it's also because there's just not enough effort being put into it. So I think that this can be resolved if there's just a little more effort put into the physical and put some energy into romancing each other, and things will work out well. I don't know if work is getting in the way or something like that, but if you put a little bit more energy into the physical aspects of a relationship, that can improve. Let's take a look at the overall compatibility. 6 of fire, very compatible overall. If you are manifesting something in this relationship, which it seems like you are because you're ready for the next step, it will manifest. And since you're both on the same page, it looks like both of your ideas and what you want for the relationship will manifest. You're very compatible. Things are going to turn out well. I'm excited for you. This was a really uplifting reading. I really enjoyed this. I hope you did too. Let me know in the comments. Again, take what resonates, leave the rest. Thank you for spending some time with me today. If you would like to learn more, I have a bunch of relationship readings up on the channel. Well, maybe not a bunch, but there will be a bunch. So I'll link the playlist for you so you can go check those out if you're curious. And I hope that I will see you again in a future video. Welcome to reading number 3. There's the kind of purple, clear kind of crystal. Let me show this again. And the 2 bunnies charm, and then the angel number oracle is 888, abundance. I'm super excited to get into this. I hope you have a romantic person relationship in mind before you selected this reading. Let's get into it. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Like I said in the introduction, the energy feels very nuanced here. So if this is not sounding like your situation, go back to the beginning and try again. Hopefully you end up in the right place though. Okay, let's take a look at your desires, your energy. We're going to start with that. 4 of water reversed. So I don't think you're super into this right now. You're maybe more focused on yourself, more interested in what the relationship might bring to you rather than the relationship in general. And there might be some self-sabotage going on here. So I don't think you're super into the relationship right now. Let's see what the other cards are first, and then maybe we can get some more information out of those. Let's take a look at their energy, their desires. King of Earth. So I think they have a lot of ambitions for the relationship. They might be more obvious about what they want, and they maybe want something a little bit more traditional out of the relationship. King of Earth is like very wealthy, and that can mean wealthy in terms of money, but it can mean wealthy in terms of anything, especially since we have that abundance card here. they might just have a lot. It could be anything, and it might be just that kind of person. Let's take a look at your similarities. Queen of Fire. So you both might be kind of intense people, spiritual people, creative people. If you have an idea, you turn it into reality. Both of you are kind of like that. Let's take a look at your differences. Three of Earth reversed. So so for this card, I feel that there is one person that might be satisfied with how things are going. Maybe this one. And one person, maybe this one, is dissatisfied. And one person is a little bored. And then somebody, this could be either of you, I guess, is having a hard time seeing the bigger picture. The Three of Earth is kind of about collaboration. So not working super well together, or since this is a difference, it's having different ideas about what a relationship, a good relationship, a relationship that works well looks like. Let's take a look at your emotional compatibility. Warrior of Earth. Okay, so I do think that you're emotionally compatible, but this is not like a super passionate, you make each other super happy kind of card. This is like there's a warmth there, you're attracted to each other emotionally, but it's a more like stable, reliable, chill, positive emotional compatibility. You know what I mean? Like if I was seeing, I guess I shouldn't go into that because I'm not seeing that, but this is good, but it's nothing that will like change your life, but it's good to have very positive, stable emotional connections, and I think that's what this is. Let's take a look at the physical. Oh, the Tower. That's kind of shocking. So I would have to say maybe not physically compatible, but I think it's because something happened that might have ruined the physical compatibility, impacted it, like trauma, or the Tower is about this like shocking event that kind of shakes everything, switches everything up that's outside of your control. I don't know what this means, but you should. So I don't want to pull another card because that's your business and I don't want to dig too much into your business. But you should know what this means instantly. So if this is not resonating for you, then maybe a different reading. I'm not sure, but this should speak to you instantly. You should have an idea of what that is. All right. Overall compatibility. Nine of Water reversed. I think you guys are just not on the same page right now. You're not aligned on things, trying too hard to make it work. The Nine of Water reversed, I would say, is maybe overall not the most compatible right now, just because trying too hard. Like, I think that your energy right now, you're not super into it. And so there's just trying too hard to make it work. And in reality, you guys aren't really aligned. You might want different things, stuff like that. So if you want more information about this relationship, I have another video on the channel. I think it's called You and Your Person. I'll link it for you so you can go watch it. Take a look at that maybe, and it might give you some more information about this and what's going on. But if this is perfectly clear to you and you are understanding this completely, that's great. Let me know in the comments if this resonated. Otherwise, thank you for spending some time with me today. I hope this gave you some insight, and I hope you'll join me again in a future video. Welcome to reading number 4. We have the Black Crystal, the Secret Love Charm, which is also a notebook, and then 616 Sanctuary is the angel number oracle card. Let me know what brought you here, if it was the crystal, the charm, or the card. I love to know. I've gotten some comments on some past videos where people have told me, and I'm super into it every time that it happens. So take a second and let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I hope you have a person in mind and you had them in mind when you selected this reading. We're going to learn a lot about your compatibility with them. Take what resonates, leave the rest. As I said in the introduction, the energy does seem kind of nuanced. So if this reading isn't sounding like your situation, that's fine. Try going back to the beginning and selecting a new one. Hopefully you end up in the right place and the reading resonates. Let's start with your desires, or kind of like your energy, depending on what the card is. Let's take a look. Eight of Air reversed. So you want to stop holding yourself back, but you're struggling to do that. You're restraining yourself here. You want to stop restraining yourself, but I think there's some negative thoughts going on that are holding you back from doing that. Some self-doubt, things like that. Let's take a look at their desires and their energy. Page of Water reversed. Looks like they're kind of in a similar place. There's a fear of vulnerability happening. There's a blockage. They might be saying one thing and doing another. They're hopeful for the relationship and they want to connect, but those things are holding them back right now. Let's take a look at your similarities. Ace of Earth reversed. Interesting. So you both have a lack of understanding about the relationship in some way. Perhaps things have not worked out for you both in the past, whether that's within this relationship or within other relationships. There's like a limited view of the possibilities, I think, because of that. There have been opportunities in the past that haven't worked out, and I think that might be affecting you both here. Let's take a look at your differences. Four of Fire. So you both have very different ideas of what home is, I think. Perhaps one person has traveled a lot more or is like more cultured, things like that, than the other person. But mainly that idea of home. There's like a difference of opinion there on what home is or what home should look like, things like that. Let's take a look at emotional compatibility. Eight of Fire reversed. So, gosh, the emotional connection between you two is very like frenetic. Like lots going on. There's like no room to breathe. Like the phrase that comes into my mind with this is like, it's an intense connection and there's just like, there's not a lot of thinking happening because the emotions felt are very strong. Let's take a look at the physical. Queen of Earth. Okay, so there is physical compatibility. The physical relationship could be very sensuous, very nurturing. If there's not a physical relationship right now, right, this could just be the potential of it, but good physical compatibility. Let's take a look at the overall compatibility. King of Water. Okay, so I think there is overall compatibility. The relationship has the potential to be very tender, very stable, but with the King of Water, beware of codependency, especially with this in the emotional compatibility. Like if it's very frenetic and not a lot of room to think, not a lot of room to breathe, that is a breeding ground for codependency. So beware of that in this relationship. Okay, I hope this gave you some insight and I hope it resonated. Let me know in the comments if it did. If you want to learn more, I have a video on the channel called You and Your Person. Feel free to check that out. It'll be in the eye, so click on the eye and take a look at that if you're curious. Otherwise, thank you for joining me today. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Those things really help me out. And I hope you will join me again in a future video. Hello everybody, welcome to reading number 5. There is the gold stone here with the gold shimmers in it. And the friend charm that's in a heart with wings. And then the oracle card is 222 alignment. I'm super curious about this reading. I think based off of, the crystal and the charm and the card here, it's going to be interesting. I'm excited. So take what resonates here, leave the rest. The energy is very nuanced. This reading in particular has a pretty similar energy to the next reading, the 2222 Twin Flame card. So keep that in mind. If this is not sounding like your situation, go back to the beginning, select another video, maybe pause and take some deep breaths and see what other reading is speaking to you before you select. But I hope you end up in the right place. Otherwise, let's get into it. First card is your desires, your wants, your energy. It can be interpreted a few ways depending on what the card is. Magician reversed. So I think in this relationship, you want to be the one that's in control. I think you want things to change. You want something new with this person, but you want to be the one in control of it and the one to bring that about, I guess. Let's take a look at their desires, their energy. Two of Earth reversed. So they're feeling a lot of pressure to conform right now. And that could be from friends and family. It could be pressure to conform and keep the relationship the way it is. Or it could be pressure to conform and change the relationship. I'm not super sure. But like the question here, they feel very compelled. So I think there is a connection to you. They feel a connection to you and they're compelled by it and they want to connect with you. But the question here is a little more so about what is really motivating them. Hopefully we get some more information from the other cards. Let's take a look at your similarities. Interesting. 10 of Fire. So you both have been through some struggle. You've both been through hard times. You both have carried a heavy load, like perhaps even in a relationship, you've been the one carrying the weight and doing a lot of the work. Could be in this relationship or it could be in a past relationship, and have tried to like persevere and just get through hard times. Let's take a look at your differences. The 8 of Water reversed. So I think one person might be feeling dissatisfied about things right now, but there's a reluctance to take action. I think the other person, so this could be talking about you, by the way, or this could be talking about the other person. One of you is feeling dissatisfied, but hesitates to do anything to change the situation. I think it might be this person personally, based off of this energy here and the desire to be the one in control. Let's take a look at the emotional compatibility. Interesting, the Moon. So emotionally, it's not really clear. Like the Moon is a card about confusion and deception. I think there might be some confusion emotionally about what is being felt for the other person. This could be on your end, it could be on their end, I'm not sure. But not super emotionally compatible. I think that it could bring some confusion here. Let's take a look at physical compatibility. Oh, the Tower. Okay, so again, I don't think super physically compatible. Something happened that has made the relationship not physically compatible. The Tower usually speaks to an event that happened that was outside of anybody's control, that changed things. It can speak to trauma. Like when I'm saying all of this, you should have something in mind about what this could be that's impacting the physical compatibility. Hopefully it comes to you right away. I don't want to pull a clarifying card because when it comes to things like this, like that is your business and this should be speaking to you right away. So hopefully that is resonating for you. Let's take a look at the overall compatibility. 5 of Fire. Okay, so not super compatible overall either. I think there's a lot of potential for conflict in this relationship. There will also be issues within groups and families, which is interesting considering that this card also has that pressure to conform from friends and family. Like the relationship has the potential to just create conflict among those groups and maybe even conflict between the two of you. Not super compatible overall. I'm kind of shocked. This is not where I thought the reading was going based off of that lovely little friend charm and the 222 alignment. I'm kind of surprised. Let me know in the comments if you're as shocked as I am. If you want to know more about this relationship, you can click on the eye. There's another, I don't know if I said this already, but there's another reading called You and Your Person. It'll be in the eye if you want to dive a little bit deeper into this relationship. Otherwise, let me know in the comments if you have like a specific question that you would like answered. I can do that for you too. Thank you for spending some time with me today. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Those things really help me out. And I hope that you'll join me in a future video. Hello, welcome to reading number 6. We have the Star Crystal, the Pac-Man Charm, and 2222 Twin Flame for the Oracle card. Let me know what brought you here, which one of those things it was. I think it's also very funny that the Pac-Man Charm came out for the Twin Flame card. Let me here so you can look at it with me. Not to get too deep about the symbology of Pac-Man and the metaphor here, but it's interesting that it's Pac-Man and the ghost because the ghost eats Pac-Man, and then Pac-Man can also eat the ghosts, and I think that that is very relevant to the twin flame card, because twin flame relationships can be very intense and not always good, and they can be all-consuming. So, not to get too deep about that, but let me know in the comments if any of that random tangent resonated for you, or if you have some other ideas about how this little charm can have symbols for a twin flame relationship. Anyways, I hope that you had a person in mind before you selected this reading. This reading and the last one, very similar to each other, like in terms of this energy here, especially with the card. The numbers are super close. Twin flame versus alignment, very close. So I hope you ended up in the right place. Take what resonates here, leave the rest. If it sounds way off, your reading might be a different one. So go back to the introduction, try selecting a different one. Maybe take some extra time and pause the video, and hopefully you end up in the right place. Otherwise, let's get into it. I'm gonna start with your desires or your energy, kind of depending on the card. All right, serious, right off the bat, we have the Tower. So I think you want an event to happen to like shake the relationship up, but you don't want to be the one to do it. You're looking to shake things up. You're just kind of hoping that something else will happen and shake things up. You want change, essentially, but you don't want to be the one to do it. Perhaps you might also be experiencing a lot of change on your end in your life right now that's impacting the relationship. Could be either one of those. Let's take a look at their energy. Queen of Earth. So this is also their desires as well. I don't know if I said that, but stable, sensuous, comfortable, nurturing. I think that's what they want out of the relationship with you. They want it to be stable. They want it to be sensuous, comfortable, nurturing, things like that. They do have ambitions for the relationship. The Queen of Earth is ambitious. So they have ambitions for the relationship. They have places that they want it to go. Let's take a closer look at your similarities. Three of Water reversed. Interesting. You both have a little bit of a hidden agenda here that you're not being honest with each other about. I'm not sure what it is, and I think that you would know what yours is maybe because it's something that you haven't shared with the other person, but it's something that you want. This could also indicate that you both have had trouble with friendships, issues with friends in relation to this relationship, or maybe just in general. Could be either one of those two things. Let's take a look at your differences. 10 of Air reversed. So you both have probably been through difficult times. It could be within this relationship or it could just be in general. But one of you is having a hard time letting go of that and coming out of that. A difficult time letting go of old prejudice in particular, paranoia, negativity, things like that. Like I could see this being that a relationship really went wrong for one of you and that has caused some negativity and some paranoia that's in this relationship right now. On the other hand, the other one has kind of accepted the bad things that have happened and like integrated that experience, I guess. Let's take a look at emotional compatibility. 10 of Water, that's so lovely. That's a really positive card. You guys are very emotionally compatible. There's like love there, trust there. The emotional relationship between you two feels very precious and it's satisfying, which is lovely. Let's take a look at physical. 4 of Air. So I don't know, this card, I mean, you could see it's just one person sitting there. So maybe a little withdrawn right now, maybe not a physical relationship or like you guys aren't super connected physically right now. But this card is telling me that if you get to know yourself better, understand your needs and your desires, then there is a way forward. You can see that the person is on this path, right? And it's just taking a pause here. So the physical compatibility might be paused, but there is a way forward. And take this pause to get to know yourself a little bit more, your needs and your desires. Overall compatibility. Ooh, Wheel of Fortune. Okay, interesting. So this relationship, I think, again, interesting that twin flame is here. Oh, I'm shaking the camera. There is an element of fate happening here within this relationship in a good way, because the Wheel of Fortune is upright. So it's talking about good fate, good fortune, things like that. I think there is a compatibility because this card is kind of positive. But again, I don't know. With the Wheel of Fortune, you never know. It could swing either way. But it's upright, so I'm leaning more towards good compatibility, good outcomes, things like that. There is the possibility for change in the relationship as well, because the Wheel of Fortune is always spinning, it's bringing change. So perhaps this event that you're hoping for that will shake things up might happen. All right. Let me know in the comments if this resonated. Interesting that this was like the twin flame relationship, like the twin flame kind of reading. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. And leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm a new channel, so that really helps me out. And let me know in the comments if you have a question that you want me to answer. Also in the eye, like the eye that you can click up in the corner over there, there is a reading called You and Your Person. So if you want to get to know this, like understand a little bit more about what's going on in this relationship right now, you can do that video. But I also have this other playlist of like a bunch of romantic readings and things like that. So check that out. And I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for spending some time with me today. And I hope that you'll join me again for a future video.